Now I know that you're working with, what's the word here, a treatment?
Cancer vaccines?
Yeah, can you please talk more about that? Because it can actually eradicate having to have chemo, is that correct?
Yes. The big focus of cancer research today is to try and provide targeted therapies for the patient. Mm-hmm. Radiation, chemotherapy have all had their successes, but they have a lot of collateral damage because they just don't affect just the tumor. Mm-hmm. So the objective of everyone in the field is to do what they can to target the tumor itself so that you're bringing in your toxic agent to kill the tumor and minimizing any of the collateral damage that might be done to the system. And we have been working diligently in two areas. One is targeted antibodies, but the principal focus right now are cancer vaccines. And these vaccines, unlike the vaccine most people are familiar with, say, polio or the measles, which prevents you from getting the disease and are prophylactic in nature, the vaccines that we are working on are therapeutic. They would be a vaccine that one would take after they have gotten cancer. Mm-hmm. And the concept is to mobilize the immune system and focus it very specifically on the tumor that is burdening the patient. And we have made a number of discoveries in this field and probably have, or do have, a significant intellectual property portfolio associated with this. And we've been working on it since 1989, is when our first discovery was made in this field. We now have taken it through a series of very early first-in-man trials, and recently, last September, we mounted our largest clinical trial, which is centered here in Melbourne at the Austin, but going on as well as 18 other clinical sites in Australia, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom. And the hope is that after studying some 100 patients with this vaccine, that we will have a better idea whether indeed this does effectively target the tumors as we had hoped. Okay. In approximately 6 months, this is what they call a blind randomized trial, which means there are patients that are receiving placebo, and then there are patients that are actually receiving the vaccine. And neither the doctors nor the patients know which is receiving the placebo or the real vaccine. Those results will become unblinded in about 6 months, and we will begin to see what the results of the whole trial have been.
Okay. So you're saying this particular one first started in 1989?
The discovery was made in 1989. This is a very, very tough business. It really does take 20 years in our experience from the discovery to when you characterized it sufficiently to satisfy all the regulatory authorities that warrant it going into a patient. Sometimes it's a briefer period of time, but it is a painfully long period of time, and it takes real commitment, passion, and dedication to do it. These trials take sometimes a year and a half to accrue the patients that one needs. Then there's the treatment period, which can go on for 9 months. Then there is a period where you may have to wait 18 months or 2 years before you start to see the results. So you can see that a time horizon of 2 or 3 years doesn't work in this business. One has to have a much longer horizon.
Wow. Where does the holistic model fit in here? And by holistic, I also mean things like, meditation, exercise, etc. How does that fit into all those aspects that the Ludwig Institute is working with?
Well, we had to specialize in something.
Yeah.
So ours is more the basic research and then the translation of those early discoveries. But clearly, our objective and the ultimate test of what we do is the unyielding yardstick of human benefit. And so if we're successful in what we've done, which is in improving the treatment of cancer, you still have the the cancer patient, and they have a lot of needs. They have the spiritual, they have the needs of their family. So all these go into making someone who is totally healthy and at peace with themselves. And I think if you are careful with your diet, if you are exercising, you are going to feel better. Mm. And I think if you feel better, you may well be better. So it's a key component. It's just not, other people are specializing in that, and we work with those people as we can, but our focus has been this particular niche to help complement the resources and the activities of everyone in dealing with the total patient environment.